Welcome to the NTN Nightly. I'm Nisha Charles. This edition's top stories. More engagement by the citizenry in the legislative process is being called for. St Lucia gains more accolades from the World Travel Awards, and St Lucia's industries flourish on the international market. The Parliament of St Lucia is hosting a two-day forum organized by Sisters for Change with a view of enhancing democracy through public and civil society engagement in the legislative process. The thrust of this forum, according to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, is to encourage greater participation by the public in the legislative decision-making process and other government processes. This, he said, would encourage transparency and accountability, making for good governance. Citizenry participation, he noted, is not just good for democracy, but is vital to create and maintain a democratic environment.
The prerequisite for achieving good governance is the presence of conditions and mechanisms that ensure continuous and efficient interaction among citizens and decision makers at all levels and in all aspects of governance. Unquote. Parliaments are not excluded from the attainment of the SDGs. The target set by SDG 16.7 is to ensure responsive, inclusive, participatory, and representative decision-making at all levels. Parliaments are the place where laws and policies are debated and adopted. Parliaments are themselves part of the governance system of any country and require a peaceful, just, and inclusive governance system to represent people and play the role in the political decision-making process.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Alan Chasney, explained that change is not always easy. However, it is necessary if progress is to be made. He says the needs of everyone must be taken into consideration, especially the more vulnerable of society.
St. Lucia and the Caribbean have continuously faced issues of domestic violence, especially against women. Advocacy by both individuals and organizations, the strengthening of social services, and the attempts at more rigid enforcement of laws relating to abuse and domestic violence have not produced the desired effect. Women still encounter many hindrances at home and in the workplace because they are single parents, because of their gender, and because of their socioeconomic backgrounds. Our government gave our commitment to eradicating these problems and building a gender-balanced society based on equality for all persons. This remains both a goal and a commitment, and we look forward to working with your organization on this issue. Some of the measures we proposed include an end to discrimination in the workplace, including sexual harassment, engaging women and their representatives in ways to increase their security, upgrading facilities that cater to the needs of battered women. Our government's plans also includes a component directed at young men in our society.
President of the Senate, Honorable Janine Giraudy McIntyre, indicated that besides participating in the voting process, citizens have advocated for rights to participate in other processes in government. She added that the participation of civil society and the public is very important, especially in developing countries.
Our parliaments must be open enough to include the voices of the strong and the powerful, as well as the weak and the underprivileged. Women who are being increasingly integrated need to be integrated at a faster rate. Our legislators must always pay deep regard to inclusivity.
Executive Director of Sisters for Change, Alison Gordon, indicated that the organization has been working with the government of St. Lucia in a number of areas to strengthen its policies. The organization has also been working to ensure that the policies and programs put in place meet international standards.
We have a technical assistance program here in St Lucia where we're working very closely with the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, and it's lovely to see the Minister here this morning, and specifically working with the Department of Gender Relations to help support their efforts in the legal reform that they and initiatives they are undertaking. And specifically that is around the domestic violence bill. We held a consultation on that new bill this week, but also supporting their efforts to ensure they live up to international obligations of UN treaty bodies and specifically the Convention for the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and Girls, CEDAW. So we're working with the department and a cross-government national drafting team to submit and to complete and then submit St Lucia's CEDAW report.
It is hoped that following the forum, the various attendees would have a wealth of suggestions as to ways of including civil society and the general public in the various government processes. The forum was held from the 21st to the 22nd of January 2020. The government of St Lucia, through Export St Lucia, is continuing to support the development of the island's industries. Throughout 2019, Export St Lucia took on a number of ambitious challenges, one of them being the export of sun-dried sea moss. The agency is committed to developing the industry in 2020. Export St Lucia is the St Lucian government's national trade export and promotion agency and is the lead agency mandated to spearhead the island's national export development effort. The overall objective is to increase the aggregate volume and value of exports from St Lucia. In 2019, the agency placed particular focus on developing small and medium-sized enterprises. Sea moss has been the flag-bearing product for the agency in 2019, with an increase in sea moss export revenues of $500,000, as well as job creation on the east coast of Praia, Mico, and Opicor. Export St Lucia's CEO, Sinuta Daniel, says the journey has been an exceptional one.
St Lucia traditionally produced sea moss in the liquid form, and you'd have seen that in the supermarkets. But sun-dried sea moss was never exported out of St Lucia before. And so what the sea moss we see that you have in the packets at the supermarket, that was never exported out of St Lucia before. And so we found a market for sun-dried sea moss first in the UK, and it became an experiment for us. Where can it go? What can we do? And so we engaged the populace cooperative, which was very important for us, because we like working with cooperatives, because you're really impacting the lives of a lot of people at the community level. And the populace cooperative came on board with us, and the Opicor group also came on board with us to do the first export of sun-dried sea moss to the UK. When it got to the UK, the reviews were tremendous in terms of the price that is paid for the St Lucia sea moss and also the quality of the St Lucia sea moss.
The product is also being exported to the U.S. markets and has produced a rejuvenated zeal among sea moss farmers to increase production.
St Lucia sea moss sells at a lot higher price than any other sea moss on the world market. So that means it is very sought after. A lot of persons are interested in it because of how it's grown. It's grown, a lot of it under mangrove conditions, a lot of it in protected conditions, and the salt content is, you'd have a lot of sand in the sea moss normally. You'd have some other contaminants, and St Lucia sea moss does not have that. And so one of the things we found was that exports started really growing, and a lot of farmers started going into sea moss production. We were told, for example, in Poilin, if you went to the sea on a Sunday, the number of fishers or the number of sea moss farmers who are really there planting sea moss. And what was really tremendous for us is that every single cent of that money goes directly to the community.
Over 100 new farmers have gone into sea moss cultivation. Fresh off the heels of the announcement naming St Lucia as the world's leading honeymoon destination 2019, the island has done it yet again, this time capturing the title of Caribbean Leading Honeymoon Destination 2020 at the 27th Annual World Travel Award. St Lucia has won this award a record 11 times, with the most recent honor coming in 2019. The SLTA's Public Relations Manager, John Emmanuel, says the award is testament to the world-class product that St. Lucia continues to offer.
We have consistently said that St. Lucia is an award-winning destination. We have told the story over and over, and we have invited persons from locals to regional to international visitors to come and experience it for themselves. And so when we get these awards, they are additional feathers in our cap. We believe that this is an iconic destination. We believe that we have some industry partners, bar none. We believe in the idea of setting excellence and setting the benchmark as being the best. And when we receive awards such as this, it is just further testament to what we have been saying all along, that we have a world-class product, that we have some of the best and friendliest and trained people working in this industry, and that we have what it takes to be at the top of this business. All of the accolades are welcomed, we appreciate them, but they are in themselves further proof of what we have been saying. Strong leadership as far as the industry is concerned, and the hard work, the dedication of team members across the board. So when we win as a destination, people giving us praise for our iconic vistas, for our many resorts and restaurants and sites and attractions, yes, we appreciate that. We also want St. Lucians to understand that they are a part of that award-winning product. We want them to experience the destination for themselves, be it through staycation that runs for a certain part of the year, or be it for caribcation that is running throughout the year, that they can experience what it is that we have been saying all along. We appreciate the accolades, we know them, and when they come, they are further proof that exactly what we say is so, that the proof of the pudding truly is in the eating.
The World Travel Awards Gala ceremony also bestowed honors on several industry partners. Margot Bay Resort Spa and Marina was named St. Lucia's leading beach resort 2020. Hookah by Hotel Chocolat, St. Lucia's leading hotel 2020, and Hood's Car Rental, St. Lucia's leading car rental company 2020. Sandals Grand St. Lucia Spa and Beach Resort was named in 2 categories, St. Lucia's leading resort 2020 and Caribbean's leading honeymoon resort 2020. Apart from winning the highly coveted award, St. Lucia was also nominated in 3 other categories, namely the Caribbean's leading cruise destination 2020, the Caribbean's leading destination 2020, and the Caribbean's leading luxury island destination 2020. And this is the NTN Nightly. We'll be back in a moment.
The effective management of the marine resources depends heavily on compliance. To ensure that these resources continue to thrive and provide the best local seafood, fishers, vendors, and consumers must be aware of the fishery seasons. Here is the season chart for crayfish. Adhere to the schedule. Help maintain a thriving fishing industry for all of us. This has been a message from the Department of Fisheries.
Welcome back. The Nobel Laureate Book Fair was launched on Sunday, January 19th, as part of activities for this year's Nobel Laureate Festival. General Nobel has more.
The Nobel Laureate Book Fair, which was founded in 2015 as part of activities to celebrate St. Lucia's 2 Nobel laureates, is now in its 5th year and continues to grow annually. An added feature has been the official introduction of child authors to the public while celebrating their creativity and aspirations. Brand Ambassador of 758 Books, Dwight George, says the exhibition places focus and attention on St. Lucian authors.
The exhibition engages the writers in activities which allows them to demonstrate an appreciation for reading and writing, explore their creativity through the word, and give consideration to careers in genres of the arts. The 2020 installment of the Nobel Laureate Festival will once again feature the book fair, which has now become a staple event. We have partnered with AF Valmore once again to host a mirrored exhibition to this one at their establishment. It is hoped that the exhibition of child authors will teach young children the significance of reading, writing, and speaking, and the interconnectedness of their linguistic skills.
The book fair, according to the brand ambassador, will also equip children with the necessary skills to conduct research and use the results to guide creative compositions and interpretations, assisting them in developing their artistic expressions. Former director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, and author Dawn French read an excerpt from her book entitled A Creepy Creepy Tall, based on true stories and life experiences.
"Oh Lord," Catherine said softly. Everyone was wrapped up in the story. The story continued. Now everyone knew what had happened. It was a small community then, and is a small community now. But in the end, all 3 men were arrested. However, the fear of the Obia man was so strong that no one would testify. But the Attorney General went ahead with the court case with a little bit of evidence that he had. The killer, Aurelia Mateli, and the Cheboate Alphonse Gaius were not found guilty of the murder, but the landlord, Louis Elie, was found guilty.
The exhibition for 2020 will be held under the theme Vision 2020 Celebrating Excellence. The book fair, which forms part of the calendar of activities celebrating St. Lucia's 2 Nobel laureates, is being held at the Gable Woods Food Court, Sunny Acres, and AF Valmore in Castries from the 19th to the 31st of January 2020. From the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
Now in its 137th year, the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition sees thousands of participants every year. The competition is an opportunity for all young Commonwealth citizens and residents, regardless of region, education, or background, to share ideas, celebrate their story, and have their voice heard, all while developing key skills. Founder of Slutera, Michelle Samuel, and junior judge of the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition, indicated that young writers often express in writing issues that adults discuss, including crime, poverty, and gender inequality, to name a few. She felt it was necessary to highlight the winners of the competition.
In January 2019, of course, after my first stint as a junior judge, I again applied to judge again. And I was gracefully accepted because they noticed that I was very dedicated to what I was doing. So much so to the point where Her Majesty herself sent a royal invitation to me to attend the ceremony at Buckingham Palace. But I respectfully declined, and I'll tell you why. Though it was an esteemed privilege to be invited to the palace, I felt that unless one of our own made it to the palace, I didn't need to be there. So what I decided to do instead was to remain home and to promote this competition as much as possible and to encourage our young writers to keep applying and to keep striving for the best. And of course, under the theme, Celebrating Excellence, Vision 2020. So the 2019 winners were recognized on Wednesday, January 15th at the Central Library.
The Senior Gold Award was won by Khadijah Halliday, a student at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Her chosen topic, family, community, nation, Commonwealth. What are our opportunities for shared growth? Khadijah read an excerpt from her winning essay, I am tiny, but I am whole.
I understand that Mama wants the best for me and that Mama has to protect me and that Mama named me Hope first because that is what I am first to her. Hope. Miss Nation, the lady at the desk calls. Mama immediately looks up to her name and gives the lady with a smile as we are given the indication to head on. Mama's soft smile probably seems soothing to the lady, but I feel the strain of it. Mama takes my sticky hand in hers, completely unbothered by the sticky mess I am making. Together we walk. By now, my own 2 feet know the path by heart, but Mama never lets go of my hand. Mama never lets go. Mom, Mama greets quietly as we meet Grandma in the next waiting room. I can feel my face stretching to beam as Grandma opens her large, beckoning arms wide for me. I rush in eagerly, albeit clumsily, but she stabilizes me. Grandma stabilizes me.
Student of the St. Joseph Convent, Shade Gustave, won the Junior Gold Award. Her chosen topic, My Cultural Connection.
Make me better understand this, I said, for his explanations made my building confusion worse. Firstly, look at the food they eat, he said, allowing my eyes to trail to a restaurant. They eat to survive, but also because they love it. The food may be different in taste and looks, but the people all share the common thread in which they need and love food. Look at your tribe. At festivals, the worst enemies come together because of their love of the culture of having and eating food. Continue, I said, intrigued. Secondly, music connects them, perhaps more than food. From place to place, it may differ. Different beats and rhythms and languages, but such is the art of music. People connect over the culture of music, whether listening to it or making it.
In 2015, the contest was renamed the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition in honor of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's role as both head of the Commonwealth and patron of the Royal Commonwealth Society. The theme for the 2019 Queen Commonwealth Essay Competition is A Connected Commonwealth. The competition is open to all citizens and residents of the Commonwealth aged 18 and under. And this is the NTN Nightly. We'll be right back.
Yeah, my G. Yeah. The road clear, my G. Do road.
I don't feel now is the right side.
Are you mean by the road clear, my G? Do road 120. Yeah, man, that's how we do it. Like real boss. Boy. Yes, that. Watch it.
Don't fall victim to peer pressure when driving. Your life and the lives of others are your responsibility. Drive safe. Arrive alive.
Welcome back, and here's a look at what's happening to us weather-wise. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers. The Atlantic high-pressure system will continue to generate moderate to brisk easterly winds and rough seas around the eastern Caribbean during the next 24 hours. Moisture and instability associated with the shear line will continue to cause cloudiness and showers over the eastern Caribbean islands during the next 24 hours. The tides for Castries Harbour was high at 1:54 p.m. and will be low at 8:50 p.m. The tides for Vieux-Fort Bay was high at 3:01 p.m. and will be low at 10:17 p.m. The seas moderate to locally rough with waves and swells 4 to 8 feet or 1.2 to 2.4 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers, especially to the north and east coast of the island, are advised to exercise caution due to rough seas. The sun will rise Thursday at 6:52 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the St Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I'm Nisha Charles.